Coming up on Chapman News, the two trials gripping the nation. Kyle Rittenhouse found not guilty, and a possible blow to the defense in the Ahmaud Arbery case. We have the very latest.
A historic day for the Democrats. The House voted to pass the massive social spending bill. But what's next?
And I'm Kiana Favela, live at John Wayne Airport, where we're seeing the calm before the storm as travelers are just starting to head home for the holidays. We'll have a live report, including some troubling weather if you're traveling.
From Dodge College of Film and Media Arts, this is Chapman News.
Good afternoon and welcome to this week's episode of Chapman News. I'm Peyton Bell.
And I'm Adrian Mitchell. We begin today's show with breaking news in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Gracie Shafkett is here to tell us more about the verdict.
After 4 days of deliberation, the jury finally reached a verdict. Kyle Rittenhouse was found not guilty after all the jurors voted to acquit him. Take a look at what happened in the courtroom.
As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we the jury find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts?
No justice! No justice!
Protesters waited outside of the Kenosha County Courthouse for the verdict. Was Rittenhouse a vigilante armed with an assault weapon or a victim who feared for his life? Critical testimony came from Rittenhouse himself, who was overwhelmed with emotion as he claimed self-defense.
I was cornered from in front of me with Mr. Zeminski, and there were three people right there.
Rittenhouse was charged with counts of intentional, reckless, and attempted homicide, along with reckless endangerment. Judge Bruce Schroeder dismissed Rittenhouse's other charges for possessing a firearm as a minor and violating curfew. The judge has been criticized for that decision as well as his arguments with prosecutors during the trial.
I was astonished when you began your examination by commenting on the defendant's post-arrest silence. That's basic law. It's been basic law in this country for 40 years, 50 years. I have no idea why you would do something like that.
Prosecutor Thomas Binger was also getting heat from the NRA for his lack of gun safety knowledge. During trial, Binger pointed Rittenhouse's gun at the courtroom with his finger on the trigger. I'm Gracie Shafkett for Chapman News.
That's the latest on the Rittenhouse trial. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Gracie. There was a surprise in another high-profile trial this week. William Bryan, one of the defendants accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery, has asked for a plea deal. That request was rejected. It comes on the heel of another unexpected development yesterday. The defendants claim self-defense. In an unusual move, one of the defendants took the stand and claimed he feared for his life, but under cross-examination, his defense fell apart. Here's part of the exchange between prosecutor Linda Donikoski and defendant Travis McMichael.
Never threatened you at all?
No, ma'am.
Never brandished any weapons?
Sorry, Your Honor, he's trying to finish his answer.
Yeah, he did not threaten me verbally. No, ma'am.
All right. Didn't brandish any weapons?
No, ma'am.
Didn't pull out any guns?
No, ma'am.
Didn't pull out any knife?
No, ma'am.
Never reached for anything, did he?
No.
He just ran?
Yes, he was just running.
There was also activity outside of the courtroom after the defense objected to the presence of Reverend Al Sharpton and Reverend Jesse Jackson in the courtroom. Supporters of the victim showed up en masse on Thursday, with more than 100 black clergy in attendance. Closing arguments will begin on Monday.
Over to Capitol Hill, two major wins for the Biden administration, and history was made as well.
Jack Hull joins us with more on this big week in politics.
Thanks, guys. Yes, even politicians want a vacation as the Build Back Better plan, President Biden's ambitious spending, passes the House just in time for Thanksgiving recess.
The yeas are 220, the nays are 213. The Build Back Better bill is passed.
Celebration in the House just hours ago as Biden's social spending bill passes and heads to the Senate floor. Democrats hoped to vote on the bill last night, but House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy voiced his opposition a lot.
I watched Jimmy Carter have a sweater on and tell me to turn the heater down. I believe more people will be attracted to come here illegally.
McCarthy's marathon speech surpassed over 8 hours, breaking the previous record set by current House Majority Leader Nancy Pelosi. The White House praising the bill this morning, tweeting, "Taken together with a bipartisan infrastructure law, the Build Back Better plan is the most significant investment in our fight against the climate crisis ever." 0 Republicans voted in favor of the bill. Democrats hope their slim majority in the Senate proves enough to get the bill to Biden's desk. The legislation included funding for climate change, universal pre-K, and prescription drug cost reform. But that's not all. The Biden administration saw another victory in the form of infrastructure.
Okay, here we go.
A major milestone this week for President Biden as his $1 trillion infrastructure bill was signed into law.
Let's remember this day. Let's remember we can't come together. Most of all, let's remember what we've got done for the American people. I truly believe that 50 years from now, historians are going to look back at this moment and say, that's the moment America began to win the competition of the 21st century.
The bipartisan law is a major win for the administration, but receiving support across the aisle came at a hefty cost. The original proposal sought $2.2 trillion in spending, with $4 billion extra going towards clean energy tax credits. The version signed into law has only a quarter of that. Californians should expect to see significant benefits from the legislation, as many projects will get a major boost over the next 5 years. Projects include around $30 billion in repairing roads and bridges, $3.5 billion in water infrastructure, and $1.5 billion in airport infrastructure. Other projects include electric vehicle charging, broadband coverage, and wildfire protection. Earlier this year, the American Society of Civil Engineering ranked California's roads 49th in terms of safety in need of repair. So maybe we'll finally start to see some of that LA traffic go away? Probably not, but it's wishful thinking at least. And finally, this morning we saw history as Kamala Harris became the first woman to assume presidential duties. President Biden temporarily transferred power to the VP for 85 minutes as he was under anesthesia during a routine colonoscopy. That's wrap for politics this week. I'm Jack Cole. Back to you at the desk.
The CDC says drug overdose deaths in the U.S. surpassed 100,000 from April 2020 to April 2021. This is the most drug overdose deaths in the U.S. recorded in a 12-month period. Opioids, such as fentanyl, have caused more than 75% of those deaths. A CDC report says life expectancy in 2020 decreased. COVID-19 and drug overdose deaths are to blame. The push to have more Americans get a COVID booster shot continues.
Luca Evans is here now with more on that.
Thanks, Peyton and Adrienne. Here's the latest on the COVID front. First up, go out and get your boosters, as the Food and Drug Administration has okayed both Pfizer and Moderna's extra shots to protect against COVID-19. The CDC, meanwhile, is meeting today to talk about authorizing the booster. So folks, if you got your second vaccine dose at least 6 months ago, you could go out and get your booster this very weekend. The FDA has authorized a mix and match strategy. So if you got vaxxed with Johnson & Johnson, you could get a Pfizer or a Moderna booster. The booster could offer extra help at a good time as cases are rising in over half of all states. According to NPR, the case average has jumped nearly 15% since last week. Los Angeles is no exception, as both positive tests and hospitalizations are on the rise as the holidays approach. And the county is about to get downgraded in the CDC's system for transmission categories. California Governor Gavin Newsom said not to panic, but a surge is likely.
We should anticipate that we are going to see an increase in cases. We have an increase in potential stress on our system.
And it's not just this country either. Nations throughout Europe are facing yet another spike in cases. Austria is imposing a partial lockdown on its unvaccinated population, while the CDC has given an avoid travel warning for Iceland, Hungary, and the Czech Republic. In more developments back here in the U.S., drug company Pfizer is applying to the FDA to clear its antiviral pill for use in unvaccinated people who get sick with COVID-19. Dr. Jerica Lamb, Chapman University's expert in viral infections, said the Pfizer drug, along with Merck's COVID pill, which is also under review, will be helpful in fighting the pandemic. Lamb said they would be a supplement for the vaccine, not a substitute.
These two oral medications will be basically, I guess, adding to the armory of weapons that we have, antiviral weapons that we have, to prevent us from getting further sick and being in the hospital.
Pfizer said in a trial that the drug, Paxlovid, cut hospitalizations by nearly 90% after it was given to unvaccinated people who'd recently started showing symptoms. Lamb said Pfizer had planned phase 2 and 3 trials to test out the drug, but results from the first trial were so promising that they applied right away. A panel of advisors is expected to meet in less than 2 weeks to discuss, and if all goes well, the pill could be available within the year. But the big question, Lamb said, is accessibility.
Unfortunately, we don't have a national health system to control pricing, and it's going to be based on the person's insurance. And I would think that those who are uninsured will probably have to get these medications through some kind of patient assistance program.
Pfizer has said it'll let other manufacturers make generic versions of the pill, which will help make it more affordable. And I'll tell you what, folks, apart from all this COVID news, it's flu season. I just came down with something myself this past week, so make sure if you're able, go and get those flu shots. That's all from me. Back to you at the desk.
It's my favorite time of the year, turkey season.
I'm so excited to be flying home to see my family all the way in Oklahoma. Kiana Favela is here with us live at John Wayne Airport.
So Kiana, what can I expect at the airport?
Adrian, you can expect a busy airport and long TSA lines. I'm here at John Wayne Airport in Orange County, where we're already starting to see people head home for the holidays. However, we're expecting even more travelers next week, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday. The airports are looking a lot busier this year than last year. In fact, we're seeing about the same amount of holiday travelers as we did pre-pandemic. So if you're flying home for Thanksgiving, you're definitely going to want to arrive to the airport a few hours early and prepare to stand in line. With millions of Americans vaccinated and looking forward to spending the holidays with loved ones again, travel is back in demand and the cost is soaring. Despite the higher prices, an estimated 53.4 million Americans are traveling for Thanksgiving this year. That's only a 5% decrease from pre-pandemic levels. An economy class plane ticket from Santa Ana here in Orange County to San Francisco costs as much as $500 for Thanksgiving week. But that did not stop college student Eric Kunanen from traveling to see family.
It's been a tradition of our family to always sit down together, have a good meal, and to just laugh, share memories, talk. Especially since I am in college right now, my family and I really want to get together and just connect again.
According to Adobe Travel, U.S. airline bookings for Thanksgiving week are up 78% from last year. But the high costs don't stop at airfare. AAA says prices for mid-range hotels are up 39% from last year, with an average nightly rate ranging between $137 and $172. Rental car rates have also increased from last year. The average cost is now $98 per day. Brown University student Lenora Sukuturaga will be spending Thanksgiving away from family for the first time due to expensive airfare.
From Rhode Island to Hawaii, it would be around $900, so that's way too expensive to go home.
With the cost to fly so high, you might expect millions of Americans to resort to driving this Thanksgiving. However, the cost of gas is deterring that too. According to a survey done by Gas Buddy, only 32% of Americans plan to travel by car this Thanksgiving. This is a 3% decrease from last year and a large 33% decrease from pre-pandemic years. Here in California, the average gas price hit an all-time high this week at $4.68 a gallon. Gas prices are up nationally as well, with an average price of $3.41. That's up more than $1 over last year. However, some say that spending time with family over the holiday outweighs the cost.
The price didn't really affect my decision to drive or not. I got to get home somehow.
Unfortunately, it does not look like gas prices will drop before Thanksgiving. As for Christmas travel, the app Hopper suggests booking your tickets home now before Thanksgiving to save a few bucks. I'm Kiana Favela, live from John Wayne Airport for Chapman News.
Thank you, Kiana. As Kiana noted, it's the busiest time of year for travel.
I know a lot of us in the studio are traveling for Thanksgiving. We have Taylor Sato in the Weather Center to discuss what kind of weather to expect across the country.
Yes, we can expect a storm brewing in the Northeast that will most likely impact travel. So if you're flying home to see family, be on the lookout for any unexpected delays. Like Kiana mentioned, flights are expensive, so if you're planning on skipping the airport, expect cloudy weather with a slight chance of rain in orange. If you're driving home, please be careful. I'm just as excited for the holidays as you are. I'll have the latest on other weather conditions after the break.
Disneyland is becoming more expensive, but are higher prices a sign of a greedier company?
I'll be seeing you in all of our favorite places with laughter and warm embraces all day through.
Elmo loves you.
I love you too.
With free COVID-19 vaccines, sunnier days are ahead. Visit getvaccineanswers.org.
I'll be seeing you.
California is in an extreme, dangerous drought, and despite warnings, we continue to fall short on individual water conservation efforts. Shambhalin Fairley has more on how you can conserve water.
In July, Governor Newsom asked Californians to voluntarily cut their water use by 15%. New data from the State Water Resources Control Board shows that few people are actually doing so. So the question is now, how can we be more mindful of our water usage, and what are some ways that we can help? Well, we can start by shortening time in the shower, only running the dishwasher when it's full, and checking for faucet or pipe leaks. But there's another area where you can save water which you might have not thought of before: lawn and garden maintenance. According to OC Water District Program Manager Sandy Scott Roberts, the majority of water use for most of the households in OC comes from landscaping. She says considering artificial grass or plants native to California are just a few ways to cut back on water use.
Drought-tolerant landscaping, removal of grass lawns. These are all ways that we can make a big impact on the amount of water we use.
But we are making some progress in water conservation. Here in Orange County, we have the world's largest groundwater replenishing system, also known as GWRS. Run by the Orange County Water District, the GWRS takes wastewater from sewers and purifies it through an advanced treatment process, producing 100 million gallons of drinking water a day. Their facilities serve about 2.5 million residents here in Orange County. Scott Roberts says, with decreased river flow, rainfall, and less snowmelt caused by the drought, our groundwater basins are not being fully replenished.
So there's sources that we're no longer getting. And so therefore, taking a resource like treated wastewater that we would just discharge into the ocean is a new water source to replenish the groundwater basin, and therefore helping to combat drought. We're supplementing with the water from our facilities.
Experts say we all need to do our part in conservation to protect one of our most valuable natural resources. I'm Shambhalin Fairley for Chapman News.
Traveling back home for Thanksgiving?
I know I am. I'm going to San Francisco. A few minutes ago, Taylor told us about some weather conditions you should expect over Thanksgiving. Now, Taylor is going to take a deeper look into the local and national forecast.
Thanks, guys. It's quite a cloudy day here in Orange. It's a high temp of 67 degrees and mostly gloomy. On to the national forecast. Starting with the West Coast, Seattle's going to be a high temp of 51 degrees. We're going to see high cloud coverage with overcast skies throughout the day. San Francisco, it's going to be mostly cloudy with few showers scattered throughout the day and a high temp of 59 degrees. Vegas, a little bit warmer. There's going to be intervals of sunshine and clouds throughout the day with a high temp of 72. And Denver as well, we're going to see cloud coverage, but mostly sunny throughout the day. On to the East Coast. If you're traveling in or around the Northeast, like Kiana said, and the Midwest, there's going to be a storm looming. So in Minneapolis and Chicago, it's cloudy today. However, closer to next week, a storm will be coming in. So if you can travel early, we highly recommend doing so. However, if you're on the East Coast, New York and DC are a high temp of 48 degrees and sunny, so enjoy the sunshine while you can. Atlanta is going to be 62 degrees and sunny today. And closer down south in Miami, we may see some chance of rain and thunder throughout the day with a high temp of 79 degrees. On to the Orange County forecast. The weather today is mostly low 60s into low 70. Starting with inland Orange, it's going to be a high temp of 69 degrees. Irvine is going to be a high temp of 68 degrees, and Mission Viejo is looking the warmest in Orange County today at 70 degrees. Along the coast, Westminster is going to be slightly cooler, 66 degrees. Newport Beach is going to be 64 degrees. And Laguna Beach is going to be a high temp of 63 degrees. And last, San Clemente, 64 degrees in South Orange County. On to the 7-day forecast in Orange. This weekend is going to be slightly cooler and mostly cloudy with a high temp of 72 degrees on Saturday. It will warm up Sunday and Monday with a high temp of 86 degrees on Sunday, mostly sunny, and 84 degrees on Monday, partly cloudy. It will start to cool down closer to Thanksgiving. 70 degrees on Tuesday, partly cloudy, and Wednesday and Thursday are going to be beautiful day to spend with family. They're going to be sunshine throughout the day, and Thanksgiving is going to be a high temp of 75 degrees. That's the weather for today. I'm Taylor Sato. Back to you at the desk.
This can be an especially stressful time of year for those struggling to pay bills and prepare for the holidays. And now the increased cost of groceries means more families will be needing help getting the food they need. Here in Orange County, the Thomas House Shelter is sponsoring its 35th annual food drive. Shelter Executive Director Shakoya Green says the shelter has helped more than 1,500 families in recent years. Green says the drive helps Thomas Shelter continue to support families year-round.
Ensuring that we are able to provide our families with appropriate food where they're not having to always eat or not having to eat fast food is very important. We want the children to have nutritional meals and eat a well-balanced diet.
And if you want to help out or donate, visit thomashouseshelter.org/food drive to learn more. Disney, the billion-dollar company many cherish, has increased its park prices.
A lot of Disney lovers are skeptical on why they're doing so. Danielle Burke-North has more.
When the COVID pandemic hit, Disneyland shut down, sending most of its workers home. While Disney claimed it was still paying its workers, the Financial Times reported that the company instead placed 100,000 employees on unpaid leave. Disneyland character performer and parade dancer Kaylin Zarate was one of the many workers left without a job.
A lot of us kind of had to put our life on hold because the option was to, pursue a different career entirely or kind of hold back and wait to see what Disney was going to say whenever Disney decided to open up again.
Despite its claim of financial hardship, Disney continues to earn billions through its movies and products. And as critics have noted, Disney has also significantly increased its park prices. The new Genie Plus service costs resort-goers $20 per ticket per day. Genie Plus allows users to skip the lines for their favorite rides by using new Lightning Lane entrances. However, users now have to pay to skip compared to the old Fast Passes system, which was free. Some note that with the increase in prices, the park becomes less affordable for many people, alienating Disney's customer base. I spoke with a parent who says she can't afford a Disney pass to take her kids.
It's not affordable, it's not reasonable.
Still, while fans don't like the price hikes, many will begrudgingly pay because of their love of the park experience. The question then becomes, is Disney being greedy, brilliant, or just out of touch? Former Disney production and corporate executive assistant Stephanie Fudge says the answer depends on the customers.
It's greedy maybe if the people don't go for it, but it's genius if the people just continue to save their coins and go anyway, despite the hikes.
We contacted Disney, but they declined to answer. It's clear many Disney fans are fed up. A petition calling for the removal of Disney's CEO, Bob Chapek, has garnered over 75,000 signatures so far. The petition sponsors say Chapek is putting profits above the original purpose of the park. I'm Danielle Burke-North, reporting for Chapman News.
Anna Montemore here, and today on the Best Campus Sports Show, we will have the latest on the MVP. Some athletes are giving back this holiday season and what LA sports fans are so outraged about, so stay tuned.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
Hello everyone, I'm Anna Montemore and welcome back to the Best Campus Sports Show. There's lots of news in the sports world this week, so let's just jump into it. A star Chinese women's tennis player, Peng Shuai, is missing. Earlier this month, 35-year-old Shuai posted on social media accusing former Chinese politician Zhang Gaoli of sexual assault. Since the post on November 2nd, Shuai has not been seen in public. The Chinese state media released an email which Shuai had supposedly sent the chairman of the Women's Tennis Association, also known as the WTA, which she said her accusations were false and that she was at home resting. WTA is now threatening to pull tournaments out of China unless they get an answer about Shuai's whereabouts. This week, the MLB named both the American and National League MVPs of the year. Bryce Harper takes home the title of the National League MVP, and our very own Angels player, Shohei Ohtani, earns the title of American League MVP. He is the first player since Babe Ruth to start a game as both a pitcher and a hitter. Ohtani finished the 2021 season with 46 home runs, an ERA of 3.18, and a 101-mile-per-hour fast pitch. It's clear Ohtani came out this season to do what no MLB player has done in over a century. His performance this year only makes baseball fans more excited to see what he does next season. And Lakers fans out there, not only are you probably not thrilled about how your guys are playing this season, but you might not be too excited about the new name given to your team's court either. If you're going to a Lakers, Clippers, Kings, or Sparks game, you won't be going to the Staples Center anymore. Instead, you'll be heading off to a night at, wait for it, Crypto.com. Yes, that's right, Crypto.com. This is believed to be the richest naming rights deal in sports history. Sources say that Crypto.com is paying over $700 million over 20 years to rename the building. And hey, look, I don't love the new name either, but for $700 million, I would change my name to Crypto.com too. And don't worry, Lakers fans, you still have a little bit more time to enjoy the Staples Center, as the new name will not be going into place until December 25th, when the Lakers play in the NBA's annual Christmas showcase against the Brooklyn Nets. And we know November is a time for giving back and saying thanks. Pittsburgh Steelers' Najee Harris and his family are doing just that.
Steelers running back Najee Harris spent time in different homeless shelters growing up. One group that was special to him is GRIP, the Greater Richmond Interfaith Program in Richmond, California. Harris even had his draft party there earlier this year. While waiting to see which team would draft him, Harris made sure the kids at GRIP had enough food and desserts for the party. And this season, he has gone the extra mile to help GRIP. Thanks to a partnership between his foundation and Lowe's, Harris was able to pay for some renovations at the shelter. But he and his family did not stop there. They also bought new appliances, a computer, a grill, a rock wall, a playground, and provided landscaping, a paved parking lot, and a fresh coat of paint on the building's outside walls. Harris says he is grateful that he has had the opportunity to give back.
That little time that we had, it really helped my family out to find another place to stay. So, just giving back to communities and giving back to places that like this really means a lot to me.
During this Thanksgiving season, look into your own communities and see where you can follow Najee Harris's example and make a difference.
Well, that's all I have for you this week on the Best Campus Sports Show. I'm Anna Montemore. Now over to entertainment with Tiffany Chen.
Thanks, Anna. The biggest album of the year has dropped, and I'll tell you all about it after the break.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to Tiffany Talks Hollywood, where I share the latest entertainment and celebrity news with you. Mama's been having a lot of really big feelings lately as how Adele introduces her new album 30, which has finally been released. In an interview with Oprah, Adele said the songs detail her journey with divorce, motherhood, weight loss, and heartbreak. The singer has never been known for shying away from the harsh realities of life. I don't know about you guys, but I think that this is Adele's most powerful album yet, and I'll definitely be singing my heart out to it in the car. Fans continue to gush over Taylor Swift's new 10-minute version of her song, All Too Well. Within a day of its release last Friday, the singer's re-recorded version of the Red album broke Spotify's record for the most streamed album by a female artist in a day, with over 90.8 million streams. The singer wrote, directed, and starred in a short film of the song starring talented actors Sadie Sink and Dylan O'Brien. She also released a Sad Girl Autumn and acoustic version of the song. Full disclosure, I've never been in love, but watching the film made me feel like I was going through an intense heartbreak on a cold winter night. And that's the power of Taylor Swift. Marvel fans, get ready as Sony released the new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer this week. The trailer hints at the return of some OG Spider-Man before the Marvel crossover. And you'll also see some of your favorite actors like Jacob Batalon and the unofficial Hollywood couple Zendaya and Tom Holland. The movie is coming out on December 17th. Now, on a serious note, rapper Young Dolph was shot and killed in a shooting in South Memphis Wednesday afternoon. According to police, the 36-year-old rapper was entering Makita's Butter Cookies shop when an unidentified gunman drove by and shot through the bakery window. Dolph's unexpected death left so many in shock. Several fans and celebrities like Gucci Mane and Chance the Rapper turned to social media to show their condolences to the rapper's family. And we cannot be more happy for our pop icon, Britney Spears. For the first time in 13 years, the pop star will have total control over her health, finances, and estate after a judge terminated her conservatorship. On Monday, the singer celebrated the end of her conservatorship by speaking out on Instagram, saying she hopes that her story inspires others to keep fighting.
So I'm just grateful, honestly, for each day and being able to have the keys to my car and being able to be independent and feel like a woman and owning an ATM card, seeing cash for the first time, being able to buy candles. It's the little things for us women, but it makes a huge difference.
Good for you, Queen. It's time for you to thrive. We can't wait to see what's next in store for you. And those are the latest headlines in entertainment this week. Till next time, I'm Tiffany Chen.
We are quickly approaching the end of this year, and many are looking forward to the ball drop in New York City. People who are vaccinated, ages 5 and up, are welcome to attend this wondrous event as long as you bring proof of vaccination and a valid photo ID. For those who aren't, you can still attend by showing a negative COVID test taken within 72 hours of arrival. Kids younger than 5 can attend under supervision of an adult. I'm so excited to spend New Year's Eve with friends and family this year.
Me too. You'll find me popping champagne when the ball drops. That's it for this week. Don't miss an episode of Chapman News at www.chapmannews.tv and follow us on social media at Chapman News. I'm Adrienne Mitchell.
And I'm Peyton Bell. We're taking a short break for 2 weeks for Thanksgiving, but we'll be back before you know it.